One big headline worrying Indians is that FDI, or foreign direct investment into India, has fallen sharply in the just ended year FY23. This includes gross inflows, which fell by 16% from 84.83 billion in the previous year to $70.97 billion in FY23. But if you deduct FDI outflows, that is investments made by Indians abroad, then net FDI also fell by a whopping 36% from 43.96 billion in FY22 to 28.01 billion in FY23. Actually, FDI has never played a large role in India in terms of percentage of GDP. Even if one takes gross FDI inflows, it's just about 2.7% of GDP in a good year of inflows like FY22. In FY23, it was only 2%. If one takes net FDI, then the inflows are only 1% of GDP. So let's take a look at a longer time frame. Clearly, gross FDI in FY20 to 22 shot up. Why? It was partly due to a large investment in Reliance's Jio platforms in FY21 by a bunch of funds like Caterton, Silver Lake, Google, Facebook, KKR, Adia, Abu Dhabi's Mubadala, and a few others. Also, many VCs, venture capitalists and private equity funds invested in Indian startups in 2021 and 22, partly because of the loose money policy followed by the US Fed during COVID. But these flows peaked off after mid-2022 when the Fed started raising rates. However, India's net FDI inflows have never really taken off. They've totaled barely 1 to 2% of GDP all through. The post-pandemic period, you may have seen a fall because some foreign investors worried about the decline in India's potential growth and widening income inequality. But the unfortunate part is FDI hasn't increased in spite of the government announcing PLI, or production-linked incentives, to take advantage of foreign companies looking for alternatives to China, the China Plus One. A Citibank research report shows that aggregate FDI inflows into PLI-linked sectors have not significantly gone up after the scheme was announced. It was averaging around $4 billion in FY18 and FY19, saw a sharp pickup in FY20 to $7.6 billion, but it has moderated thereafter to $4 to $5 billion again in FY22 and FY23. Finally, foreign direct investment may be decreasing globally. The IMF notes that global FDI flows have dropped to 1.3% of global GDP between 2018 and 2022 from the highs of 3.3% in the early 2000s. Experts say this could be because of changing geopolitical alliances, reshoring of production back in the home country because of distrust of China by the West, and such other strategic considerations.